So, was it or wasn't it? The internet's been abuzz, so to speak, with speculation about what Macron had in front of him here. You see that there? The French authorities and Associated Press both say that high-resolution photos confirm that what we are looking at there is a tissue, and over here, in front of Chancellor Merz, a drink stirrer. I don't know about the tissue, but that's the shortest drink stirrer I've ever seen, and it would be useless in a glass like that. However, going with the story, it is entirely possible that Macron's surreptitious removal of the object, this object here, was simply on aesthetic grounds. It was just messy on what was supposed to be a serious picture of three world leaders having a business meeting. It's actually pretty useless to speculate, but what I really got interested in is what's going on between these three men, because it isn't a meeting, it's an interview. Two executives boxing in an applicant of some sort, maybe even a supplicant. And the whole thing shows Starmer's weakness far more than it shows any hanky-panky going on over here. It shows Starmer's weakness and impotence against this team here, and his lack of equality with those two. There's an empty space where he's sitting. There they are with their drinks and their portfolios in front of them, and there's Starmer in the empty part of the table, boxed in by the wall at the back. And you'll see a bit later he's actually hiding behind the table. And as you watch that photo op develop, you'll see Starmer there, out on his own, hiding behind the desk, while those two guys are practically in lockstep with each other, doing the same actions. You'll see Merz here remove the stick, which gave a clue to Macron to remove the tissue, while a weak and defensive Starmer tries to get as far away from them as he can, which is not easy considering, as I said, how he's been boxed in. Whatever Macron and Merz have been doing or not doing, this doesn't bode well for Britain, for sure. I'm Granniopteryx. Please like this video and click the notification bell. Also, subscribing would help this video to circulate to a wider audience. I'm always happy about that. Okay. So you see, you've got these guys here, Macron and Merz, and then there's this crush, and Starmer is brought in, and it's a bit like a job interview. You know, welcome in and then push past. And here you can see the objects here which are supposed to be of interest. And then they all, have you noticed, they're all pushing his back and sort of touching him. Can you see that? I'll go back a little bit and you'll see. He is forced to run a sort of gauntlet. Look, that person, whoever he is, touches his back, pushes him through. And then Macron, yeah, that's like the octopus greeting, you know, grab one hand and put your other hand on the shoulder. And then Merz, not to be outdone, there, absolutely no need to do that, but he felt like he had to, you know, just give him a touch on the back. And then Starmer, he tries to reciprocate a bit of handling there. It's not working. I think he puts his hand out. He thinks Mertz might extend his hand to shake it, but he doesn't, so he quickly withdraws. You see again. And then he sits down. And if you notice, Starmer sits down and then these guys sit down almost simultaneously. Then again, you see the hand on his arm before they both coordinate their sitting down. Look at the situation here. We have Starmer sitting down and then the other two still together. I'm very interested in the dynamic between these two men here. Because he is definitely an outsider to their group. Can you see? Okay, let's carry on. Now, the Instagram poster put the arrow here to point to this. This, which the French authorities say is a tissue. Now, first of all, you see Mertz, and he immediately goes for that little stick. Immediately, he goes for the stick. Starmer is looking at the cameras, and these two are looking at him. And then, did you see that? Macron removes the tissue. And then pockets it. And Starmer looks very awkward, but then he always does. You see how he doesn't really know what to do with his hands. And again, this is sort of interesting. Here, both of them, Mertz and Starmer, are looking at the cameras or the journalists. Macron is there between them, so he's got his arms like that, which could be just a gesture of being in the middle, or it could be, well, he's trying to hide the tissue. But if you notice, as soon as Starmer is aware that he's adopting the same position as Mertz, he very awkwardly changes his own position. So he's not echoing him. Let's have a look. You see that? And I don't know what Macron is doing here, looking at him, but there's something going on there as well. And again, he's got his hands on the table. He's got I'm in the middle position, and he is hiding himself somehow. He's using the table as a bulwark against these two. He's not extending his hands because that's a vulnerable, this here is an open, empty space. And with his hands there, it would draw attention to the fact that he has no portfolio there. Okay, so I don't know quite what was going on there. The video was cut. I mean, there are all these cameras here. You can see one of them there. And I think that the point was that they were supposed to be sitting there being photographed, looking like they were doing something serious when they were doing no such thing. And maybe the optics of it were that these two guys were somehow like the committee interviewing a job prospect. I mean, that's what it looks like. and that's what Starmer has let himself in for. Now, whether that was a tissue which Macron just thought might not look aesthetic to the cameras, and whether that was a drink stirrer, which quite frankly, it doesn't look like a drink stirrer at all, and certainly would be no use in a glass of water like that. And again, you see Starmer is just protecting himself there from this team here. Well, I found the whole situation somewhat creepy, irrespective of what these are. What's going on between these guys is, I wouldn't say a healthy sort of dynamic. But yeah, you make up your own minds. And you can consider that. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.